Cleaning up coal's second act. Introduction. Steam coal or thermal coal first are milled into a fine powder, which increases the surface area and allows the coal to burn easily and quickly. In this pulverized coal combustion (PPC) systems, the powdered coal is blown into the combustion chamber of a boiler, where it is burnt at high temperatures. The hot gases and heat energy produced converts into water in tubes lining the boiler into steams. The high pressure steam is passed into a turbine containing thousands of propeller like blades. The steam pushes these blades, causing the turbine shaft to rotate at high speed. Electricity is generated when these are rapidly rotated in a strong magnetic field. After passing through this turbine, the steam is condensed and returned to the boiler to be heated at once again. The electricity generated is transformed into the higher voltages up to 4000 volts, used for economic efficient transmission via power line grids. Used for economic efficient transmission via power line grids. When reaches the nearest point of consumption, such as our homes, the electricity is transformed down to the safer 100 to 250. Here we see the clean of coal. Basically, clean coal means capturing carbon emissions from burning coal and storing them under earth. Here, the carbon capture is very useful, but it is very expensive to build or shift them into existing industries, which can lead industrialists to bankruptcy. This is a reason most of the industries were shut down all over the world. There are many dangers on burning coal too. Here, the term clean coal has been applied to many technologies, ranging from wet scrubbers, coal washing, digitalization, etc. Wet scrubber Wet scrubbers are those which filter or remove sulfur dioxide precipitate, the gas which is generated from the coal burnt gas. Some disadvantages of wet scrubbers include corrosion, the need for entrainment, separation, or mist removal to obtain high efficiencies, and the need for treatment or reuse of spent liquid. Here we see the coal washing. Coal washing ID, a type process, take place in the clean coal process is where the coal extracted from the underground is washed properly to remove soil, dust, rock particles from the proper usage of digitalization. Digitalization is in mining refers to the use of computerized or digital devices or systems and digitalized data that are to reduce costs and improve business productivity and transform mining practices. Results demonstrated that currently 107 different digital technologies are pursued in the mining sector. So, these are some factors which coal mining involve in coal mining. Here we see coal washing. The raw coal enter into the fluid. It rotates. Impurities sink in fluid. Impurities separated. Washed coal separated. Next picture is show automation minerals automation standard basis on PCS 7 plant lifestyle life cycle comms enterprise operation intelligence HQ carbon capture and storage CCS. CCS technology has been around since the 1980s, while the other technologies mentioned above cut down on sulfur dioxide and coal ashes. CCS CCS is meant to handle the big environmental nightmare, the heat trapping gas largely responsible for global warming, carbon dioxide, CO2. Schematic diagram of possible CCS systems. Coal plants today typically use what is the called pulverized coal. That means the coal is grouped up, burned, and the steam from the burning drives turbines. There's also newer integrated gasification combined cycle IGCC technology which sends the gas through a combustion turbine to generate electricity and then routes excess heat from that processes to generate even more electricity through a traditional steam turbine. Pre-combustion in CCS. In either process, there are multiple points at which CCS technology could intervene. One such point is called pre-combustion. At this stage, an air separation unit produces a stream of almost pure oxygen which flows into a coal gasifier. Gasifiers fires are essentially tanks that produce synthetic gas mixtures known as syngas. Here we see the syngas advantages of oxygen in CCS. The oxygen in this coal gasifier reacts with fuel to create a syngas made up of hydrogen, carbon monoxide, water, and CO2. This form of syngas is nothing new, invented in the 1990s by William Munroch in the 19th century. It was used to power gas lights in mainly towns and gained the nickname town gas. This content is important from embed names. You may to be able to find the same content in impurity in other format, or you may be able to find more information at their website. Syngas. What is syngas? A syngas is a more relatively known as synthetic gas, which is mixture of hydrogen, carbon monoxide, and other often syngas. What is syngas? A syngas is more relatively known as synthetic gas, which is mixture of hydrogen, carbon monoxide, and often some carbon dioxide. Syngas is usually a product of coal gasification, and the mainly application is electricity generated. Syngas is combustible and can be used as a fuel of internal combustion energies. Historically, it can be used as a replacement of gasoline when gasoline supply has been limited. For example, wood gas was used to power cars in Europe during WWII. Production of syngas. The chemical composition of syngas varies based on the raw materials and the processes. Syngas produced by charcoal gasification generally is a mixture of 30 to 60% carbon monoxide, 25 to 30% hydrogen, 5 to 15% carbon dioxide, and 0 to 5% methane. It also contains lesser amount of other gases. The main reaction that produces syngas steam reforming is an endothermic reaction with 206 kilojoule mole methane needed for conversion. The first reaction between incandescent coke and steam is strongly endothermic, producing carbon monoxide CO and hydrogen H2 water in water gas in older terminology. When the coke bed has cooled at the temperature at which the endothermic reaction can no longer proceed, the steam is then replaced by a blast of air. What about cleaning coal in India? There was the same situation happened in India during 2015 as part of its climate changes commitments. The government had made coal washing mandatory for supply to all terminal units more than 500 kilometers from the coal mine. This was in keeping with India's stand to not reduce coal consumption but rather focus on emission control. What is the demand of coal in India? India's growing appetite for coal is set to add 130 million tons MT to coal demanded between 2021 and 2024. Expansion of India's economy is expected during 2022 to 2024 with annual average GDP growth of 7.4% fueled at least partially by coal. Here we see the picture of coal, the labor working and taking the coal to other place. What does coal have future in India? According to the analyst, despite the international pressure to move away from coal in October 2021, the Indian government a target to produce 1 billion tons of coal by 2024 to secure the country's energy requirements. For India, coal is here to stay for the near future. Coal washing. Electricity production in India is mostly achieved through coal thermal power plants. We see in figure 1. Although there have been efforts to diversity the options, particularly in the cause of renewable energies. Coal remains the dominant source of electricity in the countries in the country. Thank